Welcome to another episode of The Professor and the Princess. We're your hosts, the divine Randi.
Hello.
Oh, I love how you accept
My
it.
liege.
You know it, exactly. And I'm Aunrée. So here we talk about what it really means to be human. And this world is ever changing, right? Just nonstop. And from culture to tech, identity and emotions, we like to dig deep. We like to talk about love and struggles and how we grow. And most importantly, how we stay grounded in this world is ever changing. Ultimately, we love to decode cultural change, right? Kind of dive in there. How can we shift the paradigm and make the world see things differently? In this episode, we are talking about one of my favorite slogans, quotes, and I have to say to people often, can't we all just get along?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't it be something? Or do we like a little bit of conflict? But, giving credit where credit is due, Rodney King, we remember that story and what happened. And that's really a touchstone from Rodney King. And it's been 30 plus years, believe it or not. And the question still lingers, right? We're still in this space where we're asking the question, can't we all just get along? I mean, it happened with us earlier today with a man who was quite privileged and kind of just poo-poo the other people in the space rather than thinking about other people. People are just so fucking selfish that they don't think about others, right? And then another thing that comes up is this whole idea of acknowledging the fatigue that comes in with the struggle of everyone getting along. People say they want unity, and they say it online and in politics, et cetera. Even in these movements that we have, remember what happened during COVID when George Floyd was murdered?
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, right? It's like all these things that are happening, and then switch of a dime, we're back in a place where we're separated and we're like divided and we're nasty about it in different ways. And not all of us, but there are a lot of people who are, especially folks who have power. So I like to fall into that whole idea of thought that we're more divided now than ever, just kind of where we are in the world for different reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
Right? Oh my God. But I mean, Randi, does any of this resonate with you right now?
I mean,
what's cooking?
We don't want to get political on this podcast, but I do think that there are powers that be that have not only normalized the divisiveness, but have encouraged it. Because by having people at odds with one another, there's no unity, there's no community, and there's no strength in the power of that, right? And so, I think this has been going on, well, certainly our entire lifetimes and long before. And I've always been of the mindset of, you be good to me, I'll be good to you. I don't look at people as what they look like. I say, either you're an asshole or you're not.
Right.
You're a good person, welcome.
Right.
I don't need to be in a certain tribe with a certain group of people. I want to be in a tribe with people who are good, regardless of how they physically show up, right? And I think the other issue is that there's a lot of inauthenticity where people will pretend to be fair and non-biased in public, but behind closed doors, they have very different political and biased opinions. So it feels like there's a lack of transparency about who they really are. So I don't like that either. I
mean, as most people know, you are a professor, and when you were talking, I took notes there because a lot of juicy stuff was coming up from what you were sharing and your feedback and thoughts there. And I think that we're still asking the question about can't we all get along, because I think that we're expecting this utopia of folks getting along. I think that what lives behind, it's very subjective too, because I think kumbaya looks different to folks. Even I'm going to mention Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. again, at some point said, am I pushing people into devastation and, something that's actually doesn't exist about us all getting along? And then also, like in the Bible, it's like Jesus even said at some point, like, wait a minute, is this thing really, what I'm professing and what I'm preaching, is it real? Right? Because I don't think that we're all going to get along in the ways that we think. I think that something that's buried underneath this whole idea of that we don't get along is that there's a struggle for power. There's a struggle of being seen, right? And there's also this struggle for, what did I write here? Respect. Those things kind of live in there. And I think that people will do anything possible to make people believe what they believe. So the subjectivity of can't we all just get along and people having an idea of what that means, the reason why we run into a lot of problems, I think, is because people have different ideas of what getting along actually means.
I think what you said is spot on.
Crazy.
The one thing that I'd add to it,
Yes.
fear.
Oh, I didn't think of fear.
Fear is, to me, the main motivator to all of this divisiveness. Think about it. You see someone, they are the other.
Yeah.
They are not like you for whatever reason. And you are afraid of what harm they can do to you. I mean, I remember not that many years ago, and this is a great example. I learn by seeing things in real life. Right. I don't learn by reading about something that happened in a book, right? So when I was in my 20s, I used to volunteer for New York Cares. And one day I took a bunch of kids to the planetarium in New York City. I was living in New York at the time. And it was me and 5 teenage black boys. I was the only one in the group who volunteered to take them because everyone else was scared. And they were not like, they looked like they were little hoodlums, right? And I was like, oh shit, but I'm going to do it. And at first they were like, what are you doing here? How much are they paying you? I was like, nothing. Why are you wasting your time with us? I said, I want to. Go to the planetarium. We sit down in a row. And I watched a blonde lady in front of us with her perfect little blonde daughter with the pigtails. And she turned around and she looked, and you could see she was getting super uncomfortable. And she picked up her daughter and they moved to another seat. If I didn't see that with my own eyes and somebody told me that, I'd say, that's not true. People aren't like that.
Right.
They are.
Yeah.
And by the end of that day at the planetarium, they were giving me their Oreos. We were sitting in the cafeteria. We were talking. We were laughing. And they said, are you going to come back next week? It wasn't because I was any better than anyone else. It was that I did not choose fear. I knew that in each and every one of those boys is a good person who just wants to be seen and respected and treated the same way that everybody else is treated. And because I did that, and once they realized over the course of the time that we were together, that there was no agenda, I wasn't trying to get something or manipulate something, I wound up hanging out with those boys for months. We went bowling. We went to the movies. And guess what? It was great because I didn't go into the whole experience with a feeling of fear or trepidation. It was like, these are humans just like me. There's got to be some common ground. And we found it.
Yeah.
So that's what people need to do. From my perspective, that's the way you fix it. Yeah. It is not globally. It is not presidents. It is not governors. It's the individual people in every community stepping up and saying, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and talk to someone who is different than me because that is my charge in this life. That's just how I feel.
I think it's juicy. One thing that you said that I thought was important too, when you talked about the description, and it's another reason why I love you, Randi, is because you're very honest and clear about things that people won't say out loud. So the fear is like one thing, but you also had mentioned the description of the dressed like hoodlums, right? Because I do have a reaction to that as well. I would cross the street, whether you're white or black or any other race.
Doesn't matter what race.
And if your pants are hanging off your ass, and I don't know what your motives are. So I think that we're all guilty of those biases.
Yeah.
When we walk past folks, and I'm not going to say that you shouldn't be thoughtful about these things because people are mentally ill. It's a lot of things out there,
right?
And a lot of opportunities for negative things to happen. However, judging the book by the cover becomes the bigger problem, just because there are tons of rappers and folks who are very successful who dress with what I like the hoodlum costume because it's a part of the culture that you would miss out on great relationships if you're judging. So I love that you said that because we were charging people and forcing them to look at how they look at the world and their biases, right?
And it was a bias on my part, for sure.
But it's so real as well in many different cases. However, like you said, it could be, someone could be great. They can share their Oreos.
Right.
You get to know them beyond the costume, right?
Once they can look at you and trust you for being authentic.
And also a bias in that whole idea of can't we get along, for me personally, is something that still gets under my skin is when a white woman grabs her purse and pulls it close to her when she's around me.
God.
I tried to shake it, I talked about it in therapy, and it just didn't work. It didn't work. And it was this whole thing. My therapist still laughs at it because he's like, Aunrée, I found myself watching white women pull their purse to themselves after you mentioned this too. And I said, for me, it's highly disrespectful because, ma'am, you don't know what and I probably have more money than you. It's like many
exactly.
things. So
I don't like your purse. It's ugly.
And girl, let me tell you, not for all white women, but, my granddad said to me when he realized that I had more white female friends than not, and this is his own, issues that he had. He said, grandson, how are you friends with a white woman? The white woman is the most dangerous thing to a black man ever, right? And maybe some of that connects to the idea of being judged by a white woman who's pulling her purse close to her when she's near me. No matter how much jewels I have on, no matter how clean cut I am, it's offensive.
That's
and
rude.
I'm like, girl, we probably be best friends and get along like Rodney King said, if you weren't so judgmental in that way.
Racist. Let's call it what it is.
Well, see, that's why Randi is here, ladies and gentlemen, because she puts the right words in place.
I don't think you've ever told me that.
I never told you that story. I was saving it for this episode, clearly.
Oh my God.
It drives
so
me
tacky.
fucking nuts. I do it now. Every now and then I'll be that. This is one thing I love about being gay and outspoken. Sometimes I can be a real FAG and not the cigarette. Is that I know, right? Do we have to bleep that out?
No.
As a gay man, I can say that, right?
You can say whatever you want.
I love it. I'll say to a woman like, what's going on with that girl? I don't want your purse.
You won't.
As a matter of fact, I will hand her my Loewe. Like, girl, and that's paid for. So it's kind of things like that'll happen.
Would you really say something?
Oh my God, I have so many times, and I have felt terrible.
What is the reaction to that? I need to know. Do they pretend that you're just imagining it?
Yeah, it's one of the moments. Not imagine it, because I think when you catch people off guard in those moments, then they feel like they have to give an explanation, or no, that's not what I was doing, or about right. Because I'm gonna close my purse too, to be honest with you, when I walk around people, because I just don't want you to take. But it's only because I'm just being lazy and kind of just lackadaisical. And it's like, no, make room for other people. That's my reason for bringing myself together and closing my purse. But they'll say to me, oh my God, no, it's speechless for the most part. Like folks are kind of speechless.
So really embarrassed a little?
Probably embarrassment lives in that space for sure. And you called this shit out, like what's happening. And I think that sometimes we do need to call that out about how people are looking at others and judging them and reacting, because you just don't know how this is affecting other people.
That's outrageous.
It's a little outrageous. It's quite outrageous because it still affects me in different ways. Two things. White person, don't try to catch my taxi. It freaks me out. And don't put your purse close to you because I don't want your bag, girl.
Because it's probably something I wouldn't be caught dead in.
Exactly, right? And if it's something I want, trust me, I'm going to charge my card at Chanel. Yeah, it's kind of one of those moments. And look, this is very elitist and high level, but, I feel like I'm being judged just because I'm black, right?
But imagine if you weren't who you are.
Yeah. How many people are affected by that too, right? And how walking away.
I was thinking of an incident that I could tell you stories all day of things I've witnessed, but one thing that really struck me when I was in Charleston, South Carolina for the first time, and I love Charleston. Mm-hmm. I wanted to move there for the longest time.
It's beautiful and quite racist.
Well, yes, probably, but I was walking down the street with my husband at the time, and it was crowded and it was narrow, and there was a black man coming at us, walking toward us.
Yeah.
And I was just going to, like any other city street, you navigate it, you move over, they move over, whatever. Mm-hmm. I was in front of my husband, so I was the one making eye contact with the black man coming at me. Mm-hmm. And he looked at me and he said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And he looked down and he stepped into the street.
Oh my God.
To give me and I was like, what the fuck? And I went the whole dinner. We were going to dinner. I just sat there going crazy to my husband about this. What is happening? Yeah. And he's like, "This is not New York City.
Yeah.
This is the South." And I'm like, I can't live in a place like this.
It's a little crazy.
And he said, "First of all, you don't know if every man." I said, "I think they would. I don't like
all
that.
All you need is one.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah.
This is not right."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "This is a different culture. This is not the Northeast." And even in the Northeast, and even in New York City, which what's more liberal in that regard than that, I have experienced that kind of racism when I was with a black man, whether it's a friend, a boyfriend, walking through the street, the things people said, the way we were spoken to. This was a couple years ago. I honestly, what an education. I was horrified at what is still going on today. So going back to your original question, why can't we all just get along? Because people are assholes and they don't want to just leave people alone. If I choose to date a black man, who the hell are you to make a comment to me as you're passing me on the street? Ugh. Literally, an old lady went, ugh.
She probably had a black man in her life.
No, she was with her nasty old white husband.
She had a black man at
Maybe.
home.
But that's disgusting.
I don't know.
How dare, I mean, who do you think? And I was just like, what did you say?
Yeah.
And the guy I was with took my arm. He's like, let's go. You don't need to, like, because as he said to me, I've been living in this skin my whole life. This is an education to you, but this is nothing new to me.
Which doesn't make it like
Doesn't
easier,
make it right.
better.
But I think you do end up becoming immune to things when they happen to you over and over and over. You become less sensitive to it. For me, it was like opening up a Pandora's box because I knew about this stuff, but I'd never experienced it so close in my face.
Yeah.
So the answer is, I don't know why we can't all just get along, but it's probably 99% because people are afraid of people who are different than them and are not open-minded. That's where I'm coming.
My thing too is that I'm not, of the school that we all get along because I don't like everybody.
No, of course
I don't
not.
You know what I mean? I'm very picky with who's in my life.
Yes.
And I like certain people, so I don't. I think the level of respect for another human is important, right? In a space that we're not making people feel uncomfortable just for the sake of our ignorance. And that's the piece that really comes up for me, right? I don't make an extra effort to make people feel comfortable, but I'm not intentional about making people feel terrible.
Right.
And I think that that's what happens so often is that folks, pulling your purse close to you because a black man is there. And so I've surveyed this, so I want to be very clear. I've watched a white woman with her purse, right? Not all white women, because I got some of my best girlfriends are white. But I've watched her next to a white stranger and then a black person come up, whether it was me or another black
else,
person.
right.
And I'm like, oh shit, this is a thing. Right now, when it happens to me, it's more, I have a visceral reaction, more personal, but I see it happen. And I do survey folks. So like white women, if you see me, don't think that I'm checking to see if you're holding your purse close to you when a black man comes out, because I am Blanche. It's kind of a moment. It's a moment. But I just want people to be aware of how you're showing up, right? Because your reaction and things that you're doing, even if you don't say things, your behavior is saying a lot about who the fuck you are.
I know we have to wrap this episode, but I do have one question for you because I find this just mind-blowing.
I love that I gave you something new and fresh.
Yes. You said they will pull their purse close if it's a black person. Is it women too or just men?
Maybe it's probably women as well. I have not done my full case study survey to see if it's
next
women.
Next time when we do season 3, I expect you to come back with a report.
Girl, that's a test that I'm actually willing to take.
I'm going to start opening my eyes to it too. I'm not kidding. I'm going to start watching.
Isn't it crazy? And when you bring it
if I'm on the bus or I'm on the train or I'm in the city, I'm going to look around.
Yeah.
Because there's no black people where I live. Well, there's a few.
And I'm there for a weekend.
Like
exactly.
7.
That's right, because we saw one today.
We did see one, didn't we?
Exactly. I feel safe.
Well, 2, including you.
Hello. I love it.
Anyway, I mean, we could talk about all of this. I mean, we do talk about all of this all the time. Yeah. And I would say just stop being an asshole.
Listen.
I know that's harsh. I know that's harsh, but it's the truth.
It's reality.
Just give people a chance. They're all probably pretty decent, or not all of them, but most. Like you said, pick based on the human, not how they come, not the package they come in.
Exactly.
Right?
That guy with the pants drooping down and whatever might save your life.
That might be the best friend you'll ever have.
Exactly.
So.
And girl, I might be able to give you some purse tips.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're ugly purses in it. No,
I can upgrade your purse selection.
Listen,
just saying.
Exactly. Don't miss out, girl.
All right. Well, listen, we are all about the questions and not the answers, because there's so many more questions and answers. But we're going to keep asking.
Yes.
And we're going to keep trying.
Yep.
To get to the bottom of it, because it's a whole big juicy world out there.
Listen, I love the juicy world.
It is a whole big juicy world. Until next time, keep watching with your eyes wide open, and don't hold your purse close to you when Aunrée comes by.
Because I'm looking.
Au revoir.